What happened when you insulted a Greek god? The ancient Greeks believed their gods were all-powerful, all-knowing, immortal beings who controlled the sky, the sea, the earth, and everything in between. They also believed these gods were extraordinarily sensitive, like embarrassingly sensitive. The kind of sensitive where if you said the wrong thing, you got turned into a spider. This is the story of several people who found that out the hard way. First, some context. The Greeks had a concept called hubris. It meant excessive pride, thinking too highly of yourself, forgetting your place. And your place as a human being in ancient Greece was very clearly below the gods. The gods were not subtle about this. They did not send warnings. They did not issue fines. They did not ask you to reflect on your behavior and do better. They just destroyed you. Creatively. Case number 1, Arachne. Arachne was a weaver. A very good weaver. Possibly the best weaver in all of Greece. She knew this, and she told people about it, frequently. Eventually, she made a claim that, in hindsight, was not her smartest move. She said she was better at weaving than Athena, the goddess of wisdom and crafts, who had, among other things, invented weaving. Athena heard about this. Athena was not happy. She disguised herself as an old woman and visited Arachne to give her a chance to take it back. Arachne did not take it back, so they had a contest and they both wove. And here's the part that makes this story genuinely strange. Arachne's tapestry was actually better. She had woven scenes of the gods behaving badly. Zeus as a swan, Zeus as a bull, Zeus as a golden shower. Every embarrassing thing Zeus had ever done, depicted in perfect detail, in beautiful craftsmanship. Athena looked at it. Athena destroyed it. Then she beat Arachne with her weaving shuttle. Arachne, overwhelmed with shame, hanged herself. Athena, perhaps feeling slightly bad about this, brought her back to life, as a spider, so she could weave forever. The moral of this story, according to the Greeks, was, do not challenge the gods. The actual moral of this story is, do not be right in front of someone who cannot handle being wrong. Case number 2, Marsyas. Marsyas was a satyr, half man, half goat, reasonably talented musician. One day he found a flute that Athena had invented and then thrown away because playing it made her cheeks puff out and she did not like how it looked. Marsyas picked it up, practiced for years, got very good. Then he challenged Apollo to a music contest. Apollo was the god of music. This was not a good idea. The terms of the contest were that the winner could do whatever they wanted to the loser. Marsyas lost. Apollo tied him to a tree and flayed him alive, removed his skin completely while he was still there. The rivers of Phrygia were said to have formed from the tears of the nymphs and satyrs who mourned him. The lesson the Greeks took from this: do not challenge a god to a contest. The lesson a reasonable person takes from this: maybe do not agree to terms where losing means the other person can do literally anything to you. Case number 3, Niobe. Niobe was a queen. Wealthy, powerful, beautiful. She had 14 children, 7 sons, and 7 daughters. She was very proud of her children. Understandably. 14 children is a lot of children. The problem was the way she expressed this pride. She announced publicly that she was clearly a better mother than the goddess Leto. Leto, she pointed out, only had 2 children. What Niobe failed to consider was which 2 children Leto had: Apollo and Artemis. Apollo and Artemis heard about this. Apollo killed all 7 of Niobe's sons with arrows. Artemis killed all 7 daughters. Niobe wept so much and for so long that the gods eventually turned her into a rock from which water still flows. The lesson: do not compare yourself to a goddess, especially not in terms of children, especially not when that goddess's children are gods with bows. Case number 4, Actaeon. Actaeon was a hunter, a good one. He was out hunting one day with his hounds when he came across a pool in the forest. Artemis was bathing there. He saw her. That was it. That was the whole crime. He did not say anything. He did not do anything. He happened to be in the wrong place and accidentally saw something he was not supposed to see. Artemis turned him into a stag. His own hunting dogs, who did not recognize him because he was now a deer, chased him down and tore him apart. Some versions of the story say he did something worse, that he boasted or spied intentionally or made some kind of offensive claim, but in the oldest versions, he simply walked into a clearing at the wrong moment, and that was enough. Case number 5. Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia was a queen of Ethiopia. She made one mistake. She said her daughter Andromeda was more beautiful than the Nereids, the sea nymphs. The Nereids complained to Poseidon. Poseidon sent a sea monster to destroy the coast of Ethiopia. The only way to stop it, according to an oracle, was to sacrifice Andromeda. Chain her to a rock by the sea as an offering to the monster. They did this. Andromeda was saved at the last moment by Perseus, who happened to be flying past on a winged horse and killed the monster. But the key detail here is that an entire kingdom was devastated. A princess was chained to a rock to be eaten by a monster, all because her mother said she was pretty. Cassiopeia was eventually placed in the stars as a constellation, positioned so that she spins around the celestial pole, spending half of every year hanging upside down, as punishment for the compliment. So what do we learn from all of this? The Greek gods were powerful beyond imagination. They controlled the forces of nature. They were immortal. They had seen the birth of the world and would see its end. And they were absolutely furious if you suggested that any human being was good at something. The weaver got turned into a spider. The musician got skinned alive. The proud mother lost all 14 children. The hunter saw something by accident and got eaten by his own dogs. The queen said her daughter was beautiful, and a sea monster attacked her country. None of these punishments fit the crime. Most of the crimes were not even crimes. They were compliments, comparisons, and one very unlucky walk in the woods. But that was the point. The gods were not just. They were not fair. They were powerful. And the Greeks, who lived in a world where floods and droughts and plagues arrived without warning and without reason, understood that power and justice were not the same thing. The myths were not really about hubris. They were about the terrifying randomness of a universe that does not care. The gods were just a way of giving it a face. This is sacred and strange. Every week we look at the stories ancient people told about the world and ask what those stories actually meant. Subscribe if you like this kind of content. New episodes every week.